And then the other concept with the inna is the na is used, we. We is third person. Or first person, sorry, I keep messing that up. It's first person, I or we. When Allah uses I or we, it's close. You know, when I say he, if I say he's sleeping, is he close or far? He's far. Because if he was near, I'd say you're sleeping. You're not sleeping, I'm just saying, right? You're sleeping, you is close, he is far. I and we is the closest you can be. When you're talking to someone, you're the closest. When you're talking about someone, he, then you're far. Allah mentions his closeness. Inna. When he uses inna in the ayah, what does that mean? That Allah Azza wa Jal is close and merciful when he sent this message to the people of Nuh. Even though they had done the worst crime in history. And they had done it for the first time in human history. The first time this ultimate crime is being done. I mean, every time shirk will be done after them, it will be a byproduct of what they did. And their shirk survived so long that I mentioned that thousands and thousands and thousands of years later, who has the same named idols? The Quraysh do. The Quraysh, and who's getting the residual commission of the shirk for all of that? Those guys. So they're pretty bad criminals. And yet Allah Azza wa Jalla is still willing to open the doors of forgiveness to them. And He's not saying to you and me, like in Ramadan, good Muslims, if you make istighfar, Allah will open the doors of mercy and give you children. He's talking to the mushrikun and saying this. He's saying even if you make tawbah and Allah will open all these doors for you. Just yesterday somebody sent me an email, I hate God. Is that a problem? I was like, yeah. Because my parents always told me, that he's going to punish me and I have to obey him and I hate that. And I said, you don't know who he is. I don't know who you think you know, but you certainly don't know God or Allah. I don't know who that is that your parents introduced you to. Because that's not what we know about Allah. You better obey him or he'll punish you. Even to the worst nations, he sent the most loving teachers. He sent the right people. If he sent somebody else, he would have lasted 950 years with these people. If it was one of you and me with a mission, what happens then? Ya Allah, it was like 2 hours I tried to convince these people. Take them out. Jibreel, you got big wings, right? Just God, you see how they talk to me? Who do they think they're talking to? These people were chosen by Allah because they had a certain quality. They had, patience is not, I don't know if it covers the meaning. I don't know if it covers the meaning. They had some kind of tough skin. They could take a lot from the same people and their children and their children and their children and their children. Man, I've known high school teachers who taught parents and then taught the children, and they're extra angry at the children because the pranks the parents pulled on them when they were learning from them. They hold a grudge. I taught your father, he's just like you. Or I taught your older brother, he's just like you. There was a student here last year whose older brother was there the year before, so I gave him a hard time the whole year. I have to take revenge from someone. The prophets can't hold a grudge. Prophets can't hold a grudge. They have to keep staying patient. This is the word ilah. The right person chosen. We're the ones who gifted you with this messenger. Nûhan ila kavmihî. And even the meaning of the word Nuh, if you take the meaning labitha, the one who remained, he had all the reasons to leave them, didn't he? He still remained. And if you see one generation go, 2 generations go, 3 generations go, you have, people live one generation, they say have life experience. I know what life is like. This man has lived several generations. He has a right to say, I have experience with these people. I have experience with this village. I've seen this about 200 times already. I know what they're going to be like. There's no hope for them. No, he doesn't lose hope. He keeps inviting them. So this is Inna arselnâ nûhan ila kavmihî. Now, the word kavmihî, just a little bit about the word kavmihî. I know time's up. I'm going to take 2 more minutes. I'll discuss the meaning of the word qawm later, but just kavmihî means his nation. His nation. Why not just ila nas, ilayhim, ila qawmin kafirin? Why kavmihî? And even if he didn't say kavmihî, إِنَّا أَرْسَلْنَا نُوحًا أَنْ أَنذِرْ قَوْمَكَ, even if you don't say kavmihî, we sent Nuh alayhi salam to warn his nation. He adds, we sent Nuh to his nation. That phrase, to his nation, is important. By itself, it's important. Why? The idafa between qawm and he means they are his people. A messenger cannot be a messenger until he sees his audience as his people. He can't hate them. He has to think they're my people. Allah Azza wa Jal, I mean, it's not just his family. His son is in there, his wife is in there, not just that. But they're my people. I care about them. I'm their father. They're all mine. They're my responsibility. I love them. When we talk about, for example, there are some people who talk about giving da'wah. We have to give da'wah to these kuffar. To kuffar. But we have to give da'wah to them. You cannot give da'wah to people you don't see as your own. If you don't see them, if you don't have concern for them, if you don't have respect for them, if you don't think of them as you think of yourself, you can't do your job as a da'i. And these are people, we don't, the non-Muslims haven't even done something against us, Muslims, and we have this like, astaghfirullah, kuffar, najas attitude towards non-Muslims. Nuh alayhi salam's nation has done something against him or no? Plenty. And he sees them as his nation. To invite people, you have to be an inviting person. You can't be a spiteful person. I don't know where we get this idea that to be a good Muslim, you have to hate non-Muslims. I don't know where this idea came from, because it's not in the book of Allah. It's not in the sunnah of his messenger, alayhi salatu wassalam. It's not, and people who think it is are utterly confused about when and where the Prophet said to show toughness against the enemy. They have no clue how that applies to our worldview towards non-Muslims. Subhanallah. Allah didn't make this ummah to wage war against other nations. Allah made this ummah to invite people to Allah. Our mission isn't to control people. Our mission is to bring people to Allah so they can enjoy the forgiveness and they can enjoy the benefits of this world and the next, like we do. That's our mission. You can't carry out that mission if you hate people. If you have spite against people, you can't. Inna arsalnā nûhan ilā kavmihî, to his nation we sent him. You know, if you don't feel like you have any affection, any concern towards your neighbor or your country or your community, your city, then do everybody else a favor and don't do da'wah. Just be quiet. Don't do da'wah. It's not right for you. Until you have this attitude. That attitude is instilled inside ila kavmihî. Then onwards. Allah could have said ilal mushrikeen. He could have said that. Ila qawmin ghafilin, ilal jahilin. So many attributes could have been used for them. And they have some pretty bad qualities. You'll learn about them in the surah. None of them were used. The only one that was used, they're his people. And by the way, Nuh alayhi salam's nation, Allah does not even give them a name. They're only called qawmu Nuh. You know why they're called? Some people say it, some people comment about it. Like Ibn Ashur comments about it. He says, ilhaban li nafsi Nuh. He says, Allah called him his nation and then said, you should warn your nation. He said, your nation, so it could set a fire inside Nuh. So every time he gets exhausted by calling them, he says, no. Allah said they're my people. And how can I forget they're my people? I got to go back and take care of my people. I can't give up on my people. So it could just fire him up all the time. So Allah told us they're his people, then he told him again, they are your people. And anzir kavmeke, not anzirhum. Anzir kavmeke min kabli an ya'tiyahum azābun elîm. So inshallah ta'ala we'll discuss the complete meanings as best we can of the first ayah. I hope you are thoroughly exhausted but still motivated to come back. I'll see some of you tomorrow. Inshallah all of you tomorrow. Inshallah ta'ala. Barakallahu li wa lakum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.